When I think of procurement processes, I tend to focus on planning procurement first. The reason is procurement is really a risky undertaking for a project. Let me give you an example. For years, I worked in the wireless product development industry, in that sector. And it could be infrastructure, it could be wireless devices such as smartphones. So you're going to need to work with vendors and procure components for such projects and products. Let's just say what you are developing could end up shipping maybe several 100,000 units, or maybe more than 1 million units. In fact, I was involved in one project that shipped over 3 million units. That's a lot of units. What if you procure a component and something goes wrong with it? Having a recall is probably the worst disaster you could ever expect. Another issue is, let's say you buy from a supplier, and after you've shipped 3 million in the field, that supplier goes out of business. Or maybe there's a quality control problem. So you're really staking your success on the success of the vendor. Okay, so you have to make sure that whatever vendor you select, and this is part of the planning, must be capable of doing what you need, must be financially viable, so that supplier is going to be around and could support you with warranty or help you address problems. They also have a good quality control system in place. And to verify that, you will likely need to conduct site visits, because once that component is designed into your product, you're stuck. There is no other alternative. So deciding what vendor you're going to use is a crucial part of the plan, and I wouldn't overlook this. Now, one other thing I will mention is that when you think of procurement, the first inclination typically is to get the lowest price possible. I'd encourage you as project managers to think in more holistic manner when you think of price, because the cost of procurement is not just the price of the component, it's the entire life cycle, it's the total cost of ownership. So, for example, price is one element, but what about terms? What about delivery? What about assistance from the supplier in designing in the component into your product? All of those things are associated with cost. So you could find a supplier with a higher price, but a lower overall total cost of ownership. These are other strategic elements that you should consider. Remember, once you've selected a vendor, you're joined together at the hip, more or less, throughout the entire life cycle of whatever deliverables your project is going to produce. So planning that procurement is essential, and don't neglect some of these large issues that could sometimes go right over your head if all you're thinking about is finding that vendor quickly and finding the right price for the component that you're purchasing.